let's talk about your call. What is it?
This one is a mouth call. It's not the diaphragm. The diaphragm I use when I can't move my hands and I'm trying to be real still. And it's usually for up close. The mouth diaphragm is a latex, and you put it to the roof of your mouth. And basically it's for short distance stuff. I mean, within 100 yards. The one that I've got in my hand now is another one, and I'm not giving brands because I'm not telling anybody this stuff.
Okay.
Not at the moment. But this is what they sound like when you're just doing a little locator and you think they're kind of close. It's just a real gentle, resonating, could be a cow, could be a calf. Then you go to what I'll call a little bit more of a resonating call. That's called fighting cows. And it's a little bit more aggressive. It's you use it sometimes, and it depends on how much pressure I put on the call and what I want to try and achieve with it. You know, you can also dumb it down a little bit. Okay, there's a little bit more of a raspiness. And then this is the one that Mason found. He said he was stunned because he thought I was standing literally 50 yards from where his cow went down, because the cow who was trying to make the call sounds just like this. So you get 3 different pitches and they're different things. This one, I call it a locator. I'll do it tremendously loud in the woods. And when it's quiet in the woods, you can hear this probably 600 yards away. And I've had bulls respond that far away. I use it to locate to see if there's any running bull within the area. Once I get a locator call on this and I get a response, we start moving towards it, depending on the wind.
And you choose this method versus a elk bugle?
Yeah. Yeah. So each of these calls has different sounds. Each of them, and it's for your ears and for most people's, it sounds really similar, but to a cow elk or to a bull, it sounds totally different.
Let me ask you this: you get in a situation, do you use all 3 of them?
I have, yeah, I have. That what happens is they'll start picking up on a pattern. So if I keep doing this and not changing it, all of a sudden it sounds like a record player. But if you do this, a little bit of difference. And then if I go from call to call to call, it sounds like there's a small group of me. And that is an enticement. That's what you want to try
Works
to
with a couple of different types of turkey calls as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get a whole bunch of stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I use if you're locked in.
How often do you call? Every time the bull responds, are you responding?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. If let's put it this way, when you get a whole bunch of them going, and here's what I've noticed, and Donnie noticed it this year with me. We were out there and there was dead quiet, not a single bull talking at all. We still stood outside, and we were starting at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's prime time for them to be bugling. And if you don't hear a single bugle during that period of time, you wait for 20 minutes, and we'd stop and wait 20 minutes. And if you didn't hear anything after the first 10 minutes, I would use the locator call. That would seem to get them amped up. And when one guy starts talking, then another guy starts talking. Then all of a sudden you got a cluster going on. Well, at that point, I'll just keep playing along with him. Drives everybody crazy, gets them worked up into a bit of a frenzy, and that's what you want, because then they become a little bit careless and you're getting closer and closer. And invariably, this call will bring in the rag bulls. We had probably 20 that came in dead quiet. All of a sudden, you could feel the short hairs go up in the back of your neck, and you go, uh-oh. You're around him. He's looking. And the fighting cows, and the other one, the one I carry around my neck all the time, this one, it has a little resonator tube that hangs on with it, and I took it off for the show today because it gets too loud. But you can be as soft as you need to bring them in.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of it is practice. And I've found that different calls will work different ways for each different season. And it could be during the rut, too. This one was great early. It was horrible after the season was over. After the rut was done, if you blew this, they were going to the next county. You know, if you did the little locator calls like this or a real quiet mouth call, they were talking at night. But it was only in the last 20 minutes of each time. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night, you could mute and call and they'd be responding. But if you tried doing anything after the rut's over, forget about it. The louder you get, the more they're running the other direction.
Yeah, by the end of the season, they've been pestering for a couple of months.
Oh yeah, and they've heard virtually everything.
Everything.
Yeah, so that's why you want to vary it. If you just blow one call and you blow it the same way each time, it doesn't work at all. They'll catch on within 10 minutes. The smarter they didn't get to be big bulls by being stupid.
No.
Well, and the other thing, I'm always amazed at how accurate they can locate you.
Oh, they pinpoint it.
I've heard bulls bugle over the hill, give one call, and sit there, and the next thing you know, there he is, 20 yards away. he
And they've
walked
got you locked.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly right.
Which is why when I'm calling for a hunter, he's got to be at least 50 to 100 yards ahead of me.
Exactly.
Oh, because then it's prime time. Because that bull's not looking there. That bull knows within 5 yards of where I'm
He's
at.
looking for special K.
Oh, absolutely. He wants to just nail me to the side.
Oh, yeah.
Baby, I need you now.
Wow.
That's the philosophy that they have. Yeah,
Yeah, well-
I mean, you're appealing to just a primal urge, period, in this story.